Hoodlums numbering over 100 have attacked a bus loaded with palliatives belonging to Nigerian Union of Journalists, Cross River State Council. Now, journalists, upon receiving information from the director of Cross River State Emergency Management Agency, Reverend James Anam, as beneficiaries of the present phase of distribution, they hurriedly moved to the government warehouse and successfully conveyed the food items from Barracks Road, Calabar. The initiative laden vehicles, or the palliative laden vehicles en route to the NUJ Secretariat, was attacked about an hour before the Hoodlums. They said Hoodlums were raining hails of stones on the slowly moving vehicle, cutting away food items from the broken windows. And the bus driver, Joseph Ekpenin, whose phone was stolen and himself left with a bruised shoulder from the attack, he told newsmen that their saving grace was when the boot of the vehicle flung open with several bags of rice and gari dropping off. And he said the mob's focus shifted from the bus at that time to the items that were dropping off the bus, giving enough way for him to scamper to safety. Now, the heinous attack also left a particular reporter, Joseph Abasi, and the council's auxiliary staff, Savior Ekpeyong, and with heavy bruises and with injuries. Both of them are currently receiving treatment at an undisclosed medical facility. That's the reporter, the other individual, and the driver are the three people that were reportedly injured from this particular incident. Palliatives moving, hungry Nigerians and thugs running after it and taking the items. Let's get your thoughts.
That is to show really that Nigerians are hungry. But we shouldn't use our hunger to perpetrate crimes to our fellow Nigerians that are still hungry. That is why sometimes when they talk about this sharing of this palliative, I must say that it is good for all stakeholders to be involved. If all stakeholders are involved, that community where this incident happened, have they actually been given any palliative whatsoever before talking of other government agencies?
Oh, so the community where it happened?
Yes. Have they actually benefited from this palliative? Because when we talk about community engagement, first, because this is where the people reside.
Okay.
This is where things is happening. Information spread around. You brought something in my own community. I'm not justifying that what they did is right.
They were just moving. They were moving.
It's someone's community.
They were just moving past.
Yes, it's someone's community.
Doesn't mean all the community. That means you're saying that all the community should have been given palliatives. Let's not also forget that the federal government just shared palliatives to different states.
That is what I'm saying. That first and foremost, government should take this. Consider the people in the community first.
Have your community received the palliative that was distributed to River State?
No, I don't think this actually, I don't think some FG have received theirs. Once they did, communities will actually
okay, so even the local government level have not even received the palliatives
I don't
yet.
think all the local government have received.
Okay, but some of them have received?
I was told that some have received and they started sharing it.
To communities?
Yes, some of the local government in River State. I was rightly informed about that.
Okay.
Yes, so my own local government, the caretaker chairman, have told us that once it arrived, he is going to add up to what the state brought.
Okay.
Yes, that was a statement from the caretaker chairman.
I think that's commendable.
Yes, it's commendable if he said that he's going to add up from what the government is bringing. It's commendable.
So even at the time where we know that the federal government has distributed palliatives to communities in Nigeria, the vulnerable, and we still have people seeing palliatives moving and running after it. Because you talked about, have they received palliatives, seeing palliatives moving past their community might want to, attract them.
You cannot, the poor logistic arrangements coming from whosoever is sharing it in that state. Very poor logistic arrangement. How would you use a vehicle that is not very strong for instance? The driver was saying that even though that the boot opened and some started dropping on the road, that means the vehicle was not roadworthy to start with. Because if it is a moving vehicle, I don't think the statement talked about blocking the road. No. And some palliative depends on the distance. They attach police officers to protect it because we have issues the last time they shared COVID-19 palliative. We've seen series of attacks to personnel that are escorting this. We should have learned from our past experience. People are actually hungry. Actually, people are hungry. Things are getting worse. But that shouldn't let people to be careless about their jobs.
This to me looked like a moving vehicle, because from the driver's explanation, they were attacked, right? They were, I don't know if they use the word pursued now, so I don't want to use that word. But remember, he said the focus was taken away from the vehicle when the boots flung open, and then the products started falling off. So these guys, these thugs, instead of going after the vehicles continually, that's going after the vehicle, they decided to start, you know, focusing on the things that already explains that that's a moving vehicle.
I see as a logistic expert, which I am, I'm still doubting that statement from the driver.
Why?
Okay? I'm still doubting that statement from the driver, because if it is a moving vehicle and it was attacked, who opened the boot?
It flung open.
It flung open.
That's the reason you fling open.
Yes.
Because the vehicle is moving.
Yes.
If it was just there, there's nothing to maybe open it. Okay. Don't you think? But this is not even supposed to be the basis of the conversation.
The issue remains that people are hungry. And if you are doing anything, you need to be very careful, including our homes. You can't be frying rice every day and your neighbor is hungry.
So we should not do anything anymore.
You should be very careful. The logistic arrangement was very poor, poor, excellently poor, very poor. This is not only that state that they are sharing palliative, okay? People have been very careful about it.
This one's meant for the NUJ?
Yes, now. It's going for a particular location,
yes,
from one distributing spot to their secretariat, okay? Now, I'm still emphasizing on poor logistics arrangement, because if you use a very sound vehicle and other products are moving on the road, I've not heard about any attack. Why should it be when it's time for the journalists that they will be attacking their own? Okay, so they should improve on the logistics in terms of sharing.
Okay, that's on the logistics. Now, let's look at the part where people are perpetrating crime.
Okay, that is what everybody should condemn. I condemn that act. It is evil. It is not civil in any way. You are hungry shouldn't take you to commit crime. We are all hungry. Okay? We are all hungry. And actually, if you are working, you have hope that at the end of the month you'll be paid. If you don't have money salary, you know that if you work, there is definitely wages that are going to reward you for what you do. So don't use your anger on people's rights, because attacking someone's anything that is not yours is illegal, and they should be arrested. If they could verify, investigate, and know who is involved in this, should be punished, so that others will not see it as a federal government thing. Is free, it's our own. We can do it. It is right. Just wait until it is actually assigned to you as an individual.
You know, when we talked about the sharing formula for the palliatives that we were told were distributed around Nigeria, you made a recommendation here. You were a guest on the show, where you said you suggest that it should go through traditional rulers.
Yes.
Because they know their people better. They know the vulnerable, since that's what the government has said.
Yes.
But then you also talked about the fact that sometimes it doesn't happen that way. That's why you were making that recommendation.
Yes, yes.
So currently, looking at the sharing formula now, is it already following that pattern? Is that because you said some people, some LGAs have received,
yes,
and some communities have also received.
Yes.
So from your analysis, the sharing formula, is it one that is viable?
You know, every government have their pattern and the procedure they think it is best to them. The former administration invited traditional rulers, religious leaders, even the media and all that, to monitor the arrival, distributions and all that. And that structure was also used in most of our communities, where you involve traditional rulers in a particular community or a region or kingdoms. Let's use kingdom, for instance. I come from Kenkana Kingdom in Kana local government. And if a majesty is receiving on behalf of the traditional rulers, he have list of all the paramount rulers under his domain. And he have list of all the traditional rulers, the youth leaders, and the CDC chairman. All this. So on that structure, if there's any communities that is having complaint, you know who to hold responsible. Not when you just give it to politicians to share. And sometimes they don't like the face of a particular traditional rulers because we are not politicians. So maybe they don't like my face and they like the face of another person, maybe more under me, maybe I'm higher than such persons. It calls for anarchy because it will not be properly distributed. And that is not the best method because this is meant for vulnerable people.
So even through the local government council, it's still not...
I don't want them to repeat what we experienced last time where people were complaining that they didn't get it. It is not meant for them. It is not meant for traditional rulers. Traditional rulers can afford rice. We can buy rice. This is made for vulnerable people in the community. And we know them. We know them. There was a time they were sharing something and my household like, they want to go and take. I said, if you want to go, if you are poor, you want to be poor, go and participate in that. They call it for vulnerable people, very poor people.
So you told
if you are welcoming poverty to your life, go and take it. I don't think any members of my family participated in that. We allow those that are meant for it to collect. And if other families can still reason that way, that if something is meant for instance, you see food meant for orphan, and you are not an orphan because you are hungry, you want to kill your parents. They say this food is meant for orphan. I am an orphan. But orphan with a different, because I know that orphan as per looking for who should take care of me. I think God should be able to take care of me as a human being. But you will see people, they mention a particular group of people. This is meant for the people, vulnerable people in our communities. You will see those that can afford rice because of greed. They will still involve.
We're talking about what happened in the past.
Yes, so I don't want that to repeat.
Even through traditional rulers?
No.
You mentioned that
I have said that like
some
now.
Some traditional rulers, you just mentioned
some
that.
Traditional rulers, because some politician may not like your face.
Okay,
might deprive you from getting involved so that we go down to the people.
Okay.
That is what I mean.
All right. Let's look at the next story now.